To our professor, Ma'am Nerissa and Beatrice, good morning. And to our classmates, good morning. My name is Ruby Arcano, and my co-reporter is Gracie Ledora. And today, we're going to discuss about attention. Attention is the focus of consciousness on a particular object or idea at a particular time to the exclusion of other objects or ideas. It means when we pay attention to an object, we become conscious. It's not nothing conscious aware. We are aware sa isang bagay. Conscious of its various attributes. When we shift away to an object based from consciousness. For example, you are get away from your eyes and concentrate on listening me instead of listening to the noises made by the electric fan or the people talking behind you. Another thing is how we actively process specific information in our environment. And while we focus our attention on one thing, there are dozens of other things that try to compete for your attention. It means, attention pa is maraming, ibig sabihin kasi nito maraming meaning. Attention daw is limited. When we say limited, we can only focus on a thing for a certain period of time. Kung saan, maliit, konti lang oras ang nakapag-focus tayo sa isang bagay. Kung saan, tinatawag din ito ng attention span. Kung saan ang span ng isang tao ay in a certain period lang tayo nakapag-focus. Another thing is attention is selectiveness. When we say selectiveness, we often want to multitask or do multiple things at the same time, but is a counterproductive and our productive will suffer. And there are different psychologies kung saan binigyan ng meaning at attention. According to Sharma R.N. 1967, attention is defined as a process which compels the individual to select a particular stimulus according to his interest and attitude out of multiple stimuli of the environment. And according to Daniel 1936, attention is the concentration of consciousness upon one object rather than upon another. Kung saan attention is a concept studied in cognitive psychology that refers how we actively process specific information in our environment. Sinabi natin sa ating principle. And while we focus on our attention on one thing, there are dozens that complete your attention. Kung saan, halimbawa, nagbabasa ako. Nakapokus ako ngayon sa pagbabasa. Bigla lang ako narinig na dumaan na daga. Ang ginawa ko is pinatay ko kung saan yung daga ay nakuha ang aking attention at di ako nakapag-focus sa aking pagbabasa. So, there are the characteristics of attention. First is mental activity, selectiveness of attention, shifting nature, activeness or alertness, readiness, more adjustment, and purposiveness. Attention makes very important contribution to the acquisition of fresh experiences. In addition, the very nature of attention is such that it subsumes within itself number of factors, sub-factors, and influencing factors. So they are the following of the characteristic of attention. So when we say mental activity, is the process of focusing attention on any object or aim performed by the mind. But the activity of the mind requires the aim of concentrating upon the object or the goal should be clear. In the absence of clarity, the mental process does not become active. If the process is active, it provides the stimulus for attention. Next is selectiveness of attention. Our attention does not focus upon a number of objects simultaneously. Instead, at any moment, our attention focuses upon one specific object. The object of which our attention focuses it is, it, itself is selected from among the number of objects, and the other object possesses some specific and special feature of interest for us. Or another, when we say selective attention, it also known as selective focus, is the process of directing our awareness to the relevant stimuli, while ignoring irrelevant stimuli in the environment. Our environment and surrounding are constantly demanding our attention. Tama naman talaga. Kung saan yung palibot natin, kung saan isa sa mga nakakuha ng ating attention. When we experience our environment through our senses, smell, sight, sound, taste, and touch. For example, you might be at home working on your business plans while someone is watching the TV in the same room. In this case, there are two things competing for your attention: the business plan that you have known have to write, and a TV show that you have to love watch. Selective focus is knowing and realizing what's more important and making sure that you give it all of your attention. Next is shifting nature. It is the nature of attention that is unstable or shifting. The individual focuses his attention upon a particular object only with effort, and even then he managed to keep it fixed upon the object for hardly 3 or 4 seconds. Next is activeness or alertness. Attention is made possible because of consciousness, and for this reason is alert. The activities or goal on which we focus our attention have their existence in our consciousness. Next is readiness. According to Woodford, the preparatory set of readiness is the essential response in attending. This is a profoundly true statement. Our body prepares itself for a particular activity even before the process of activity is initiated. So our body reacts according to attention. And next is motor adjustment. Whatever the object of which our attention is focused, our sense organs and motor organs adapt themselves to take part in the activity required As soon as the student sit themselves in the class, their ears, eyes, neck, and their bodily position adapt themselves with the reference to the teacher. Next is purposiveness. It is universal truth that we focus our attention. Only focus this object we satisfy our needs, reserve our interests, that for the achievement of our goals. We become completely attentive. During examination, students focus their entire attention of their study because their interest lies in passing the examination. So there are the characteristic of attention, and also pasensya na kung may naririnig kayong boses, ingay sa labas. So, isa rin yun sa mga nakukuha ang attention niyo instead na nakikinig kayo sa akin dahil sa environment. So, there are two types of varieties of attention. It is voluntary attention or involuntary attention, or we can call it is passive and active attention. When we say passive attention, it refers to the involuntary external or involuntary attention. Events that stand out from environment. Tagin natin when we say involuntary attention, it's from the environment. Also, active attention or voluntary attention, it's guided by alertness, concentration, interest, and needs such as curiosity. So when we say voluntary attention, it requires conscious effort on the part of the person. Example, problem solving or answering in the examination. Voluntary attention, this kind of attention operates or comes into existence when the individual consciously fixes all his energy upon a particular stimulus. For instance, the student concentrate his attention upon question likely to be asked in examination because he want to pass the test. Voluntary attention may also, sinabi ko kanina, it may also be called active attention because in this case, the attention is consciously or voluntarily active and focused by individual. Voluntary attention develops gradually with age and maturity and environment. Also, voluntary attention, sometimes an individual will divert his attention toward a particular activity or situation deliberately. For example, while sitting in a class, the student divert their attention toward the lecture, even if it's not interesting because they have passed the examination. So there are two types of voluntary attention. It is explicit volitional attention and implicit volitional attention. When we say implicit volitional attention, it's a single act of will. It is responsible for arousing attention. And explicit volitional attention, it is obtained by a repeated act of will. One has struggled hard for keeping oneself attentive. It requires strong willpower and motivation to keep the attention focused. Next is involuntary attention. It means this type of attention is aroused without the conscious effort. Example, bright lights, loud noise, strong odors, pain, and etc. It means nakukuha ng sobrang liwanag, sobrang ingay sa labas, nakukuha dahil dito nakukuha yung attention niya. Hindi siya nakakapag-focus dito sa loob. Or at this time, attention is diverted toward some other activity without the conscious effort, maybe against the will of the individual. This is known as involuntary attention. For example, the student is listening to a lecture with all interest. Some loud sound outside the classroom may draw his attention toward it. Sabi ko nga kanina, dahil sa sobrang ingay sa labas, dahil doon, nakuha yung attention niya. Kagaya ng example ko, habang nakikinig yung estudyante sa lecture ng isang guro, at sa ingay sa labas ng kanyang classroom, yun, nakuha niyang attention doon. Methods of arousing attention. These certain factors produce and control the condition of attention in the person. It can be external factor and internal factors. So internal factors or internal condition of attention, this condition affecting attention which are concerned with the environment are called its internal condition. These include the form, color, shape, etc. and of the object. So, the nature of the stimuli and the external factor, it attributes of the stimuli are more likely to arouse attention and allow concentration. Whether it's shape, color, beauty, oddity, and picture are most likely to attract attention the text. Diba sa mga bata, mas na-attract ang picture kaysa sa text, lalo na sa primary. Kaya, dito, mas attractive sila sa pictures. And also, the nature of the stimuli, our attention is directed toward an object only when a stimulus arises. Infants focus their attention on books or magazines containing colorful pictures. The focusing of attention depends upon the nature of the stimulus. Dito, ibig sabihin, depende pala sa nature ng stimulus o nakakapag-focus ang attention. The concentration will be greater if the stimulus is more intense and less if the stimulus is weak. Another is the intensity of stimuli sa external factor. The strength of the stimuli determines the attention of receive, like loudness, sound of, brightness. This powerful and intense stimuli attract our attention more powerfully than the weak stimuli. Any bright and strong light or bright color attracts our attention more effectively than the soft light or light color. Ibig sabihin nito is kapag ganito, mas the bright color siya, mas strong ang kanyang color, mas na-attract o nakuha natin ang attention. Pila dito, more intense light, sound, or smell draw attention more easily than less intense. For example, a high voltage bulb will be observed quicker than the low voltage bulb. Very bright color than dim color. Very loud sound than a normal sound. Ibig sabihin ito, mas malakas na sound, mas ma-bright ang kanyang kulay, mas nating ma-attract tayo. Mas nakuha ang attention natin dahil sa sobrang lakas ng sound, sobrang bright ng kulay. Next is the size of the stimulus sa external factors. So when we say size of the stimulus, general rule is the bigger the stimuli, the more attention it attracts. The item or object is unlikely in environment than also more likely attraction. For example, a 7 taller man and a dwarf, a very fat man, a very huge multi-storied building can draw our attention quickly. Tingnan natin dito. Mayroong building sa likod nila, mayroong dwarf, and matangkad. Mas na-attract ng attention natin yung malaking building sa likod nila. So it means it has generally been observed that the object of big size attract our attention more easily than the object of small size. We are easily attracted by large poster or advertisement hung upon walls. Di ba? Mas na-attract talaga tayo kapag malaki yung size. Gaya ng pag dumaan tayo, pag may nakita tayong malaki yung mga billboard, mas na-attract tayo doon sa nakikita natin dahil sa kanyang size. Kaya sa mga maliit na size, di natin yun napapansin. Also, like example, teachers often make use of maps, models, and letters of large size to focus attention of children upon more effectively. Diba? Mas gumagamit sa teacher, gumagamit ng mapa kaysa sa mga letters o mga sulat lang. Next, contrast of the stimuli. Change and contrast usually attract more attention. We do not notice the ticking of the watch usually, but when at times we notice it. For example, dito, a black spot on a white shirt. Diba? Mas na-attract tayo dito sa spot dito sa white t-shirt. So, contrast has very important place in the focusing of attention. Wherever there is a contrast, it strikes us and our attention is drawn toward it. People's attention is automatically drawn to two persons if one of them is fair and other dark, or if one of them is very tall and other is very short. So that's all. That's the end of my report. Thank you, everyone.
So, I am Gracie Clidoro. I am assigned to report about internal factors under the topic of attention. Internal factors or the subjective factors which influence attention are interest, motive, mindset, and our attitudes and moods. It is believed that interest is the matter of attention as we pay attention or focus on those objects about which we have interest. So under this, we have interest and attention. Interest is a very helpful factor in securing attention. People tend to pay more attentions to the items and ideas which they are more interested. These include the need for competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Along with satisfying these underlying psychological needs, intrinsic motivation also involves seeking out and engaging in activities that we find challenging, interesting, and internally rewarding without the prospect of any external reward. So we have motives. The basic drives and the urge of the individual are more important in securing his attention. Example, hunger, thirst, curiosity, and sex are some motives. If we find that certain thing has been beneficial in the past, we give more attention to it in the present. So we have past experience. It is the learning in previous experience facilitate attention. Next is emotion. The emotional state of the individual determines the attention the person will put to any certain stimuli. Habits. It is also an important determinant of attention. So here, a person develops a habit of attending to important things. Also, a habit of not attending to the unimportant things. Internal factors aims the personal or of a person also guides his ability to attend to a certain stimuli, meaning the stimuli also deposits the meaning to the methods, the disposition, and temperament of a person. Duration of attention or the span of attention is the maximum amount of attention that can be attended in the certain period of time. Visual attention. The visual attention span is very less. The time exposure is very short, ranging from 1/100 to 1/5 of a second. The mind can attend to only 4 or 5 separate units if the items are not grouped together. But if the items are combined into meaningful wholes, for instance, words or large number of items can be perceived at once. Span of auditory attention is the number of auditory impressions perceived at a single instance is slightly greater. An adult can perceive 8 sounds given rapidly in succession, but when sounds are given a rhythm, a much larger number of sounds can be perceived. The duration of attention depends upon the nature of the stimulus and the interest of the observer. So it refers on how long one can attend to an object without a break. Sustained attention. To sustain attention is to concentrate one's activities continuously upon one subject. The individual attention always remains on track and activity proceeds without any serious distraction. To conclude, attention is one of the most important higher order mental function. It's cardinal for assessing the mentally ill patient's alteration in the attention span, and its ability can lead to diagnosis of various psychopathologies. Correctly assessing the attention in MSE can give us insight about the psychiatric illness. So that ends our report. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.